You know, I was never the fastest doing whatever, right? Doesn't matter what it is. I was never the smartest. I was in special ed for many years. It's never, you know, you name it, the criteria that you might look at. I was, overweight growing up when I was a kid, um, everything, all of that kind of stuff that you might sort of think of like, you know, um, being disadvantaged, right? We didn't come from a heck of a lot of money. We had enough, but it was my dad. He was the only one that was bringing in income, and he was a pulp and paper worker. We learned how to do without. I heard no so many times. There's five of us kids, and that was just what life was. But I want you to realize that no matter where you are, um, you might look around, you might think that there is people that have more than you, that that they're doing better than you in some particular way, some domain, and it's probably true for now. But if you keep at it and you keep pushing towards something, you keep trying, it inevitably the walls break down. And what you'll realize is that things come differently to everybody. And some people it comes very quickly. That they have some sort of advantage that's underlying them. But what you got to look at is the people that repeatedly try. They get up, they get going, they get up, they get going, and they do that. It's not a you get up and you do it once. You get up and you do it consistently almost every day and it's not just a year, right? You do it for a decade. Those people that do that, they end up being extraordinary, and they do extremely well. And I would never believe that before. I never would have thought of that. But my life story is that you just get up and you keep going. You do it one more day, one more day. It doesn't have to be fun, it doesn't have to be pretty. You don't even have to be good at it every time that you do it. But it's the act of getting up and doing it that it transforms you. You know, it's really fun because I see um, I see my kiddos, I see my sons doing the exact same thing. Um, my one of my sons is a little, he's got a lot of the same traits as me. There's a lot of the same traits in that it takes a little bit more time to get going, and to sort of find something. Um, but what's been really fun is I get to sort of share this idea of just consistency and just getting up and doing it. You don't have to be the fastest or the best or the most talented at the moment. And of course, like when you're younger, everything is about sports, right? Like that's the domain. But what's been really exciting is over the course of years of both working at school, you know, we never did great, we never got good grades early on, or my son never got good grades early on. But what's been really cool to see is him sort of getting it, this sort of message of consistency, of getting up and going and trying and going and trying and working. And you know what? I look around and he works a heck of a lot harder than almost everybody. Um, I don't know too many other people that are working harder than him in all sorts of domains. And yet, um, he gets up and he does it, gets up and he does it, he gets up and he does it. And he gets better and he gets better. And it's not like when you're first doing it, and when you're doing it on a daily basis, it's not that good, right? It feels ugly, it looks ugly. But once you do it repeatedly and you do it so many times that you're just bored of it, and you push so much, Yeah, there is a moment you're like, shoot, this is not working. But after a long time of doing that, and after a long time of saying, shoot, this is not working, you look back and you're like, wow, this actually does work. The trying, the getting up and you going and doing it repeatedly, it works. It just works. And when you're in the moment, you'll look around and you feel like you're behind. Everybody else is behind, but that's not what you're worried about. Is the moment. You're worried about in 10 years, in 20 years. You look back and you'll have done a lot. You'll have done something, and it's that consistency of getting up and doing it. And you got to put the blinders on, not look at anybody else. Like that is the key. I find it super hard to do, extremely hard to do, to put the blinders, like just not look at anybody else except for your house, except for yourself. It doesn't matter anyways. But when you're in the moment, you really want to compare, you want to see how you're doing and all of those kind of things. But you got to take a step back and say, it's not me. Yeah, I'm not racing against anybody. I'm racing against me, and I'm just going to be consistent, and I'm just going to keep going. And the only thing that matters is not that I do better than what I did yesterday. That's not true. It's like I did better than who I was a year ago. And I sort of see things, there's more consistency. And the thing is, what you're going to notice in the day to day, nothing changes, right? Like it does not change. But what changes is the fact that you're trying, and nobody else, there's not a single person in the world that's going to try as hard as you. And you know that's the key. That is the key. It's not, it's not grit, it's not any of that kind of stuff. It's you are the person that tries the most. You just get up and you get going and you keep trying and you try and you try, and you just don't give up on yourself. That's the key. Just don't give up. All right, take care and have a wonderful day.